Welcome back to another episode of Rock Boys Football. Brent Venables, the Oklahoma Sooners, getting in on the fun in terms of the commitments we're seeing Sunday afternoon. And a wide receiver that has certainly piqued my interest in the 2025 class, three-star wideout Emmanuel Choice committing to this Oklahoma program. And I think it starts with the track and field background combined with the 6'4", 200-pound frame. That's enough for me to kind of get signed up with Emmanuel Choice. But what I think makes Emmanuel Choice extremely interesting is two different things. One, the movement patterns in terms of how he can get out of his breaks and create separation in his route tree. It's above average for somebody who's 6'4", 200 pounds. But I think most importantly, why did Oklahoma put so much value in wide receiver Emmanuel Choice? I think a lot of it had to do with what he does in the red zone for Oklahoma. You talk about a big body that when those throwing windows get a little bit small, can go up and make plays. That's Emmanuel Choice. It is very easy to see on the film that he thrives in some of those contested catch situations. 6'4", 200 pounds with the body control and the coordination that he has. I think this is going to be a dangerous wide receiver in the red zone. And it's not always the flashiest conversation, but red zone offense, when you are trying to win an SEC championship, win a national championship, it's a priority. You're not going to win SEC titles kicking field goals in the red zone. You have to have pass catchers that can make it happen in the red zone. I think that's going to be Emmanuel Choice for this Oklahoma offense, a wide receiver that I think has a very high ceiling, maybe a little bit more of a developmental prospect right now, but 2 to 3 years down the road, kind of interested to see how Emmanuel Choice pans out for Oklahoma, because we know the upside is really, really high with this kid. Fired up to get into the film. Before we do, and as always, just want to say thank you to you guys and to the Oklahoma fans. Can't thank y'all enough for following the boys on the recruiting trail. It's no secret, I love talking the recruiting trail. And for all the Oklahoma fans that have been checking the boys out in the middle of June, talking recruiting, appreciate that more than you guys know. If y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. And without further ado, let's get into Emmanuel Choice. And again, I think it starts with the physical traits. 6'4", 200 pounds, track and field background. But on top of that, not just the frame, but the coordination, the physicality at the catch point. That's kind of what intrigues me the most about Emmanuel Choice. And I think he fits really well into what Oklahoma already has in this 2025 cycle. You look at guys like Marcus Harris from Mater Dei, who we just talked about a little bit ago, more of that, hey, I'm going to run some clean routes. I'm going to be open, a quarterback-friendly wide receiver, so to speak. Emmanuel Choice is one of those guys that even when he's not open, he's open. You can go give him shots to make plays above the rim, so to speak. I like how he fits into this pass catcher class. And I think you got to give Emmett Jones a lot of credit in terms of what he's been able to build in this wide receiver class for Oklahoma. One of the young stars on the recruiting trail, Emmett Jones is. And without further ado, let's get into the film. And again, I think you notice a few different things. One, his ability to create some separation for someone who's 6'4", 200 pounds. I mean, getting out of that break extremely clean, creating that separation. Then when he gets to football, you're talking about 6'4", 200 pounds. He's a load to bring down for opposing defensive backs, has that track and field background, can beat people to the end zone. This is where you're getting Emmanuel Choice. I mean, he is so comfortable with the body control, using the frame, the coordination. I mean, some of these back shoulder reps that you see Emmanuel Choice have, it's all over the film, and you can just tell, one, really good release off the line of scrimmage. Two, when that football's in the air, I mean, he's just so comfortable going up on opposing defensive backs and making plays. You talk about a true red zone threat for Emmanuel Choice. I think that's him routing up a safety right there. Little pump and go action at the high school level. Always love to see that. But again, you talk about just excelling at the catch point. It was no secret what this high school offense was doing. When we get into the red zone, we are throwing up footballs to Emmanuel Choice, letting him go make plays, can command the middle of the field pretty well. I mean, this is just, you kind of go back. This isn't necessarily flashy, but I mean, it's just a big catch radius, big target over the middle of the field, can get upfield, can be physical after the catch. A lot of things to like about Emmanuel Choice, but again, I think it really does start with what he can do in the red zone. Can be a vertical threat as well. I mean, again, track and field background, 6'4", 200 pounds, can get behind opposing defensive backs. but I just love how comfortable he looks when he's making some of those back shoulder plays, because it's not only the frame, but it's the coordination to track the football, and it is the body control to contort that body, get the feet in, and make those plays. It just seems so routine for Emmanuel Choice, and I think that's what has to fire you up the most if you're an Oklahoma fan. Again, creating some separation, going up, high point of the football, big frame. He knows how to use the frame. Like, I'm going to go shield this defensive back, go up, make a play. Really big fan of this kid, and I'm really big fan of what he can be for Oklahoma. And you pop back in to this 2025 class. We talked about this when Brent Venables just got the extension. At Oklahoma is getting it done on the recruiting trail, and they're covering a lot of bases, building this 2025 class out. They are still trending for multiple 4- and 5-star prospects. I'm really excited to see how this Oklahoma 2025 class finishes out in the combination of what they're doing on the high school trail, how they're using the transfer portal. And it's no secret why this is some of the better rosters that you see in the country. Brent Venables doing a really good job from a talent acquisition standpoint. Massive shout out to Emma Jones, Emanuel Choice, very intriguing wide receiver for the Oklahoma Sooners. We'll cut it there. Appreciate you guys rocking with the fellas. Again, if y'all do enjoy the content, consider subscribing to the channel. Appreciate you guys, and we'll talk to y'all later. Peace.